What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including why the WWE scrapped The Rock vs Roman Mania match, did The Rock just call out Cody Rhodes, WWE Fires Host, a big star not in Elimination Chamber, Tony Khan discusses lawsuit against Vince McMahon, Shotzi Blackheart injured, is a WrestleMania dream match now happening, Baron Corbin's first title in 7 years, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at why WWE scrapped The Rock vs Roman Mania match. On top of today's news is a report on what led to the WWE scrapping its Rock vs Roman Reigns WrestleMania 40 match. SE Scoops is reporting, a tenured source within WWE confirmed that The Rock's original plan was to have a match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. The current situation we have with the show of shows was not what The Rock originally wanted to do, so this was not all part of an elaborate plan from the jump. This change of plan seems to have energized the WWE Universe as they wait to see how the heel Rock manages things. Next up, The Rock calls out Cody Rhodes. As previously reported, The Rock appears to be embracing his inner heel, as seen by a recent Instagram message where he addressed slapping Cody Rhodes. Your hero effed around and he found out quick what happens when you talk about a family with disrespect. Lines crossed and blurred. Bring it. We don't toe the mark for no one. But The Rock recently posted, "You effed around and you found out quick, didn't you, boy? You, your little friends, and your crybabies have no idea what's coming. The world's on notice." The Rock and Roman Reigns will be appearing on this week's edition of SmackDown, which should prove more clues where these things are going with the storyline. Next up, The Rock reveals why he's returning to wrestling. If you're wondering why The Rock is suddenly so interested in a return to wrestling, while many fans are thrilled to see him, some are curious why he seemed to be so gung-ho about returning. After all, The Rock hasn't wrestled a full match in over a decade, and he also has a very busy life in Hollywood and many other endeavors. The Rock explained one of the major motivators behind his return, his two daughters wishing to see him back in the ring. Their mouths are on the floor. This is an indication of their DNA. They don't cry. They're not like, "I don't want to see this." The Rock's younger daughters, as his daughter Simone is currently working in NXT as a general manager, even asked him if he could drop an elbow on their mom, Lauren Hashian. There's also rumors that The Rock's deal to become a member of TKO Holdings' board of directors includes him committing to working an unknown number of matches. It's also believed that The Rock has incentive bonuses built into his deal. Naturally, a Rock in-ring return that bumps up business is likely to benefit The Rock as well, so fans could see a lot more of the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Next up, WWE Fires Host. Now it's unfortunately some bad news of those who are fans of Matt Camp, who spent a number of years hosting The Bump. PWInsider.com just confirmed that Matt Camp had been released last week. They mentioned the reaction to Camp's release has been something of a shock among a number of people in the company we spoke with over the last several days, as PWInsider.com worked to confirm the story. There's been no real explanation as to why it was cut, and the company has made any statements internally, we're told. Next up, a big star not in Elimination Chamber. Now there may be spoilers ahead, so please skip to the next story if you're not interested. Now, is Jade Cargill working in the Women's Elimination Chamber match at WWE's upcoming PLE in Perth, Australia? Well, that's a big question, as fans are hearing different stories about whether or not Jade will work the match. PW Insider recently reported WWE was looking to add Jade Cargill to the Women's Elimination Chamber match, but that idea has been tossed. It's important to note that Cargill is reportedly expected to attend the upcoming WWE SmackDown taping. It won't be long to find out whether or not the company pivots once again. Sports Illustrated noted there will also be a last chance battle royal to determine who will get a spot in the Elimination Chamber match. This match will be held on the February 19th edition of WWE Raw. The WWE has been doing a superb job keeping fans guessing about its plans, so the WWE Universe shouldn't rule out Cargill appearing on the 19th January Raw and winning the battle royal. Next up, a major deadline fast approaching for Vince McMahon's lawsuit. There's a major deadline coming soon for Janelle Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and the WWE. WrestleNomics' Brandon Thurston is reporting, expect an answer or extension to answer by this coming Friday from the defendants in Grant vs WWE, McMahon, Laurinaitis, which is a 21-day deadline since their summons were issued. All three parties' replies to the complaint will likely be riveting. McMahon has promised to defend the case vigorously, while recent comments from Laurinaitis' attorney suggest the former WWE executive is painting himself as a victim. As for the WWE, the company has much to lose if Miss Grant can prove the WWE's higher-ups knew about any abuse against her but failed to take any action. One of the most interesting aspects of the case against the WWE is the story that the WWE's insurance carrier could settle the case without the WWE's approval. If this is accurate, it would seem to open the door for more lawsuits. Next up, Tony Khan discusses lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Speaking of Janelle Grant's lawsuit, what does AEW President Tony Khan think about Miss Grant's allegations? Khan recently spoke with Fanside and she asked him about the allegations as well as how AEW protects women. Khan replied, "I can't comment on the terrible allegations against WWE right now. That's something people are paying a lot of attention to right now, with good reason. For us, first and foremost, trying to create a safe locker room environment for everybody, women and men, we have a really good bond. I think we have a great locker room and everyone knows there's a support system there." Khan went on to describe how important it is to have an effective provisions in place to address any complaints from workers. There are a lot of channels and I think everybody feels very good about having a safe place and a safe workspace, and there are people you can talk to. There are people in the office, but even on the wrestling side. For us, I think that's the most important thing in any office of any workplace, is just having a lot of people will listen and will make the company a safe and good place to work. What do you guys think of Khan's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Shotzi Blackheart injured. As bad news for WWE superstar Shotzi Blackheart as she was injured during a match against NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyrie. Fightful Select is reporting that during the match, disaster struck after taking a fall to the outside of the ring where Shotzi hit her knee against the side of the ring during a spot planned to take the match through a commercial break. The injury occurred during the taping for the 20th February episode of NXT. This is terrible news for Shotzi as it also means she'll miss out on a chance to compete for a spot in the Elimination Chamber. Wrestling News reminded fans that Shotzi was scheduled to battle Tiffany Stratton on this week's SmackDown for a spot in the Women's Elimination Chamber. After speaking to several sources in NXT, Corey Brennan was able to confirm that Shotzi was not able to place any weight on her injured knee and was forced to hop to the back with assistance from WWE's medical team. It was apparent when Shotzi arrived backstage that she was in a large amount of pain. Officials backstage were said to be very concerned for Shotzi and she was immediately taken for medical evaluation. The Fightful report stressed that this injury is legitimate. As always, we here at WrestleLamia send Shotzi our thoughts and prayers for a speedy recovery. Next up, did TNA try to sign Braun Strowman? An interesting report has emerged following Scott D'Amore's ouster as TNA president. Fightful Select is reporting that TNA tried to sign WWE superstar Braun Strowman. As far as recent reports regarding Braun Strowman negotiating with TNA Wrestling, sources within TNA have confirmed that they did speak with him and even met with him about a potential deal. TNA negotiated with his agent and even got far enough into talks that potential creative was discussed. However, reports of it being a 7-figure deal that was offered to him are said to be far from true. The negotiations occurred after the WWE released Strowman, and apparently D'Amore's wish to sign Strowman led to conflict with TNA's parent company, Anthem. Ringside News noted, in fact, one of the bigger financial disagreements took place over Braun Strowman. The former WWE Universal Champion was set to make an appearance at Bound for Glory 2021. The event had even been dubbed Braun to Glory. Do you think Strowman could have helped TNA? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a WrestleMania Dream Match now happening? Is Stone Cold Steve Austin returning to the ring to wrestle CM Punk? While the Texas Rattlesnake is making it clear there are no current discussions, he's also making it clear he hasn't ruled out a return either. During an interview with ESPN, Austin discussed his respect for Punk. "I like Punk and I think Punk likes me, so as long as he can take a Stone Cold Stunner, I consider him a great friend, a great guy and a great wrestler who's had a great career. We'll see." Austin shocked the world when he wrestled Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38 in a no-holds-barred match. Austin's first bout since a neck injury led to an early retirement. The match was well received and Austin held up his end of the match despite long absence from in-ring competition. Since Stone Cold's return, there have been many rumors of another return match. Austin talked about how tempting it is to return to the ring. "I love the sports entertainment business more than anything I've ever done in my life. And you get a dose of it and you want more. And so I'm here and I'm talking to you a couple of years later about doing it again. And that's how addicting it is to me, just to talk about it. And I get excited and I'll start talking too fast." As for an in-ring return, the Bionic Redneck remarked, "But it's not going to happen, but it could." Would you guys like to see Steve Austin and CM Punk throw down in the ring? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Baron Corbin's first title win in 7 years. Last but not least, congrats are in order for both Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin as they defeated NXT Tag Team Champions Tony D'Angelo and Channing Lorenzo to win the belts. This was a major night for Corbin as it's his first championship he's held since winning the US Championship in 2017. Well, that is unless you count a Money in the Bank or King of the Ring win as a championship. This is particularly interesting because Braun Breaker is currently deciding whether to work on Raw or SmackDown, a situation that has some fans wondering whether Breaker Corbin championship run will be short-lived. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.